Okay, we're now joined by Baylor head coach Scott Drew. Coach, when you're comfortable, if you could start us off with some general comments.
Well, first, thanks for being here. Second of all, thanks for the warmer weather. And third, Big 12 basketball is special and is going to continue to be special with the conference editions and what the presidents, ADs, and the commissioner are able to do for the Big 12's amazing and makes it real easy as a coach to know the future of the Big 12 and just how successful and competitive it's going to continue to be because of the additions.
Okay, we're ready for questions. Please remember to wait for a wireless mic and give us your name and your affiliation. We're going to go to your left, Coach.
Scott over here, Danny Davis, the Austin American Statesman, talking about those new additions. What do they bring to this conference and how competitive is this conference going to be?
Well, statistically, the Big 12 has been the best conference. But last year, just looking at those numbers, 7 in the top 27 and everybody in the top 70. That's record-setting. The one thing I've said the last couple media days is I do look forward to the year where we have 3 or 4 Final Four teams all from the same conference, and there's no doubt that's going to happen in the Big 12 at some point, and hopefully sooner rather than later. As far as the new teams coming in, great traditions, history, outstanding coaches, players, again, just makes our conference stronger. The only thing that probably makes it a little bit tougher will be the scheduling part of it. The one nice thing is playing everybody home and away. Made it where you knew who you were playing, when you were playing. You're a little more anxious when the schedule comes out now to see where you're at and who you have.
Okay, we're going to go here to the middle, and then we're going to go back to the left, Coach. Go here to the middle.
Scott Blair Kirkhoff with the Kansas City Star. Just want to, speaking of new additions, want to talk about your new arena. And when is that still on tap for early January? And what's the meaning of having a new arena?
So January 2nd, first it means better Wi-Fi and seats for all of us, so we're good. But home court advantage is so important in the Big 12, and you know that from all the years you've covered it. And one of the best things that I think the state of Texas in general has done is made newer, smaller arenas to make sure the fans were more on top of you instead of so spread out with the bigger arenas that we used to have. So we should have the same thing, fans on top of you, making sure they're supporting the home team and welcoming the visiting team, and look forward to showing you and everybody else January 2nd. They tell us that's the day we're going to be in there. I think best case is shoot around on the 1st and then the game on the 2nd, but excited for that.
Okay, we're going to go to your left, Coach.
Coach Warner, Coach over here on your left, Eric Henry, 24/7 Sports. Kind of piggybacking off one of the earlier questions, just wondering if you would have any interest in continuing to schedule Texas with obviously them and Oklahoma leaving the conference.
Well, I know we've had a great history with Texas, much respect for their program and what they're going to continue to do in the future. And we've already talked as a staff, and I know Coach Terry will be in discussion with him about in the future, seeing if there's something that we can do. And it's always great when in-state rivals and schools have a chance to play. It's been great to, in my 21 years, just see how far the state's come in basketball and how many great players, programs, coaches we have now, and want to continue that success, especially for the younger players in the state.
Okay, on the front row here, Coach, in the middle.
Neil Meyer with the Front Office News. You talk about those new additions. You bring in a guy like Ray J. Dennis from Toledo. Just talk about what you've seen from him this offseason.
Ray J's an old school type player, as an old school game, meaning really fundamentally sound, makes all the right passes, reads, really pitches the ball ahead. A joy to coach. He's been in 2 great programs at Boise State and Toledo, learned a lot from those staffs, and he's won. He's used to winning, comes from a great family. He's a great fit for Baylor University.
So we've got 2 questions. One is in the middle, in the about the second row from the back, and we've got another one in the middle here, 3rd row from the front. Let's go over here to the left first.
Scott, Tim Emerson from the Manhattan Mercury. Is it kind of surreal for you to kind of look around and see two of your former assistants now leading Big 12 programs?
Well, it makes it great for media day and times like this when I get a chance to see him. I was teasing Coach Tang. I noticed he had a jacket on. I said, in Waco, you wouldn't need that jacket. And I know he's not a big fan of the cold weather, so but it's great seeing him and Coach McCaslin, and I know both of them do a great job, and I cheer like heck for them every game of the year except for when we play.
Yep, question in the back, Coach, second row from the back.
Yeah, Jay Drew from the Deseret News in Salt Lake City. No relation to you.
Yeah.
Two questions. One, you played at BYU 2011. Just wonder what your recollections were of that trip. And then also, how is BYU transfer Caleb Lohner doing with your program?
Two great questions. The first one, going into that game, we heard how what a great environment and what great fans BYU had. And I remember that was an outstanding game. Came down to the last seconds, and one of the louder places we played in and have played in. Period. Great respect for their fan base and just their game management and how they do things. Caleb Lohner, great young man, fun to be with every day. Is somebody that you can talk basketball, but you can also talk life and so many other things. He's got a ton of hobbies, from building cars to surfing to whatever. So great young man.
You're going to be in the middle here, Coach, about 3 rows back.
Hey, Coach. Kevin Sweeney from Sports Illustrated. I know defensively you guys had some struggles last year. I'm curious, now that you've had a whole off season to kind of study it and figure out what maybe went wrong, what your plan of attack is this year to improve on that end of the floor.
Well, first you got to give credit for teams we faced and the players and strategies they had. Second of all, each and every year your personnel dictate and change what you might do defensively. And this year, one thing we do have is more size and length, and hopefully that does help with that. And then you're always tinkering with things as a coach. So if it's not working just right, you're always adding and changing things. And we'll see how those things work in the next couple of weeks as we have our scrimmages and non-conference schedule. But definitely added size and length always helps on defense.
Any other questions for Coach Drew? Coach, we're going to be going here to the middle on the front row.
Hi, Coach Ryan Roberts, Riverfront Cincy. Sorry to continue the trend of the additions, but can you just talk about what Cincinnati brings to the league in terms of prestige and history?
Montgomery Inn ribs, Skyline chili, Grater's ice cream. That's a start, but obviously great program. A lot of success. When I coached at Valparaiso University, we played there when Coach Huggins was the coach, and just always been one of the better programs in the country, and great fan base. Wes is a great coach. He's doing a great job recruiting, and I know he's going to have a lot of success there. And again, Cincinnati speaks for itself. People know what a basketball tradition and the great players and coaches they've had in the past.
Okay, we got time for one more question for Coach Drew. Okay, Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.